So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 4 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today includes the Sega Buyout news and what this potentially indicates for the future, a new unannounced PlayStation 5 shooter, the lies have been exposed on PlayStation hardware sales, and the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores download. First, yes or no, did you pre-order Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores, the DLC, or not? The expansion releases this week on Wednesday. I've got it pre-ordered, of course, and I'm personally very excited to see the difference between the base game and the PlayStation 5 only version we have here, and of course more time in that world is always welcome for me personally, but that's just me. What about you guys? So comment below yes or no if you have the Horizon 2 DLC pre-ordered or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, the Horizon Forbidden West Burning Shores DLC download. Reading from Push Square, those who have pre-ordered Horizon Forbidden West DLC Burning Shores can now start downloading the expansion in preparation for Wednesday's launch on PlayStation 5. As long as you pre-ordered via the PlayStation Store, the preload should activate automatically. Your console may have already got it stored after downloading the DLC overnight. How large Burning Shores is depends on what region you're from, but generally it's just shy of 17 gigabytes. So for me, it hasn't started downloading just yet, but does state that it will today. In Canada, the store updates come a bit later in the day. While obviously the game isn't out yet, preloads have made it easier to get into the game day one, the second the game goes live, and I'm ready for that this Wednesday. Now, diving into the second story of the video, the lies have been exposed. So this is a story I've partly covered already on my own when the Bloomberg story first broke out, but it seems over the last week sites have been pretty much saying things along the same lines. This whole narrative of doom and gloom around PlayStation VR 2 has been built up by Bloomberg and pushed out by them. In my video where I talked about Bloomberg releasing a report that's PlayStation VR 2 sold or is going to sell 270,000 in March alone, and their suggestion was that they should slash the price before things get worse. I said they built up this whole narrative. People reference the 2 million number for production for PlayStation VR 2. That's from Bloomberg. People reference that PlayStation VR 2 production was slashed by 1 million, which Sony denied, by the way. That's from Bloomberg. And this story about them selling 270,000 by the end of March, that's also from Bloomberg. Even though this time they do reference an external source they used to get the information itself, as opposed to referencing secret sources that they have like the previous stories. This is all from Bloomberg, but I've seen people seemingly reference all of this as if it's independent information from each other. Now we're seeing sites that state that PlayStation VR 2 might actually be doing well. I was already talking about this when I initially responded to this story, connecting that it's all from Bloomberg saying a lot of this. I said in that video, PlayStation VR 1 was sold in the holidays. Took about 4 months to sell 915,000, and then an additional 4 months to sell just 85,000 to hit 1 million. PlayStation VR 2 was not sold on the holidays, was restricted as to who could buy the thing. People still have to use PlayStation Direct for that, and it managed to sell 270,000 according to this Bloomberg report, again in 1 month. Sony should be revealing official numbers soon when their financial call goes live on April 28th, I believe. Now, this is not to say Sony doesn't need to put in work for PlayStation VR 2 to succeed. They still need to supply more hybrid titles alongside more traditional VR games. I personally think hybrid will get more attention, especially if it's at the launch of a new game. This will get flat gamers attention if you see this happen more often, like Gran Turismo 7 or Resident Evil 8. They also need to promote the headset more and actually have it out there for everyone to buy and not restrict it to PlayStation Direct. This holiday is probably when they're gonna slash the price, probably include bundles, and maybe promote it more heavily. I personally think they need to do it before that because they still have a whole year. Are they just not gonna really push PlayStation VR 2 until the holidays? I personally hope that's not the case. But you guys let me know if you bought a PlayStation VR 2 at this point or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the third story of the video, a new unannounced PlayStation 5 shooter. Reading from Game Rant, details regarding Bungie's next game have been hinted at in one of the Destiny 2's developers' latest job listings. Little is known about Bungie's next game, expected to launch in 2025 following the conclusion of Destiny 2's The Final Shape expansion, but as the development of the next Bungie game continues, small bits of interesting information keep finding their way online. The name Matter has long been associated with the project. For instance, other details include the new game being a third-person title, as a games as a service project, action-based, character-based, and multiplayer. Some early descriptions hint at Bungie wanting to create a mixing of the best ideas from Destiny 2 with the competitive esports potential of Overwatch or Valorant. So that's a bit of background for this upcoming title from Bungie. There's actually several projects in the works at Bungie, including a mobile project, but focusing on this one, there's a new job posting as referenced by Game Rant here. The job is for an unannounced project and they need a senior gameplay designer. In the required skills section of the listing, it states previous experience working as a sandbox systems gameplay designer or similarly working on action-centric titles. This sounds similar to what Destiny is. Going further in the nice to have section, it states experience with many modes of online play and designing for live service games and products. Again, this also pretty much sounds like what Destiny already is. We don't know for sure this is for the 2025 title, but it sounds like it is this unannounced project. A potentially third person online shooter is probably what we're getting here, a games as a service. I hope it's also going to have a great story and expansion of that, similar to Destiny, but Destiny later on, not at the beginning of what Destiny was. Also, if it's coming in 2025, I wonder if we could see teasers at this for this at some point this year. And now diving into the final story of the video, the Sega Buyout news. So this was a piece of surprising news. It started to trickle out in the form of rumors, but now has been confirmed. I want to discuss its possible future implications. The news is that Sega is buying out Angry Birds developer Rovio for $775 million. So this is interesting news because it's a continued progression of the traditional games industry into the mobile arena. Take-Two, the people who own Grand Theft Auto, of course, they bought Zynga last year. Microsoft is buying Activision Blizzard with a focus on their mobile development side with King. Sony opened up a whole section for PlayStation Mobile Studios and bought out Savage Game Studios as their first mobile developer. They also have Bungie, Sony San Diego, and Firesprite working on mobile games as well. And now we see Sega buying out a mobile developer. Now, when it comes to Sega and Take-Two, I do wonder if they're doing that to increase their value, if any potential buyout is proposed, or if it's that they see the value in mobile now more than ever. It's probably the latter of these two here. For me, I have a slight worry that once these traditional developers see the insane money that can be made from mobile, will their focuses shift? I personally obviously hope not. I want them to make a lot of money on mobile and reinvest that into their traditional style games, which I think is the case and why they're doing it, considering how expensive it's become to make more traditional big AAA titles. But of course, we'll have to wait and see how this progresses. But you guys let me know if you're worried that mobile might become a bigger focus for these traditional game developers or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button. As it always helps to subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is a part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with summer is getting closer. Obviously, Summer Games Fest is June 8th. It's almost here. We're getting closer to that. So hopefully that means we're getting closer to a PlayStation Showcase announcement. If you're excited for that, destroy the comment section with summer is getting closer. And I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.